Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ardian, part of the Achieve team, and today I'm going to provide a list of the top 6 things you should be thinking about when applying to college as a rising or current high school seniors. But before we begin, make sure to like the video below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so that you get our latest videos. Now let's get started. Tip number 1, make a college list. It is really important that you've clearly identified which colleges you want to apply to so that you can start to begin to understand application deadlines, course requirements, standardized test requirements, etc. So please, the first thing you should be doing is make a college list of where do you think you will be applying. Now that leads me to tip number 2, specific college requirements. Have you satisfied the necessary course requirements from a given college? For example, did you take the required math and science classes that your college requires? These are things to think about before applying to colleges. Now, not all colleges will have these requirements, but some do, and you want to make sure that you check ahead of time. Also, standardized test requirements. Have you fulfilled the required standardized test requirements, and do you have the scores and so that you are ready to apply to these colleges? And when I mean standardized test requirements, I mean your SAT and ACT scores. Now, during the making of this video, we're still in this pandemic, and as a result, many colleges have either gone test optional or have totally removed the requirement for standardized test scores. However, it's still really important that you check the requirements so that if one of your colleges requires it, that you have those scores in place to send to them. Now, tip number 3, the major and specialties. Have you thought about what you want to major in? Some schools, you will get admitted to their school through a proposed major. So when you select majors in the application, you may be admitted for a particular major. However, in other schools, you may still go as a freshman, as an undergraduate to the school as undeclared. But nevertheless, no matter what, usually most schools require you to at least rank your interested majors. As a result, you want to make sure you start thinking ahead of time on what you potentially want to major in. Also, if you're undecided, that's totally fine. However, you still want to know ahead of time that you are going to go in the school undecided so that you can make sure in the application that you notify the school that you will be applying as an undecided applicant. Now, all of this sort of leads to tip number 4, which is application deadlines. Now, you won't be able to look at these deadlines unless you create a college list, which is why I said it is super important to first think about what colleges do you want to apply to, and then start thinking about your application deadlines. Have you found out when your application deadlines are for your specific schools? This also leads to thinking about applying early action or early decision. Because if you are planning to apply early action or early decision to schools, usually those deadlines are much earlier during your senior year, usually in October or November during the fall. So you want to make sure that you understand the application deadlines so that you are on track to finish your application before those proposed deadlines. Now, this leads to tip number 5, make a Common App or Coalition App account. I can guarantee you that at least a few of your colleges in your college list will require you to submit an application through the Common App or Coalition App, through those services. So it is really important that you make an account. I suggest during the beginning of the summer, after your junior year, to start making that account and start filling out your personal information, your family information, basically all of your biographical information. That way your application is already set in place and that you've already gotten started with that information. So you don't have to worry about that during your senior year when you start thinking about essays, when you start thinking about getting teacher recommendations, all of those types of things. So I strongly encourage you, go to Common App, go to Coalition App, and create that account if a college in your college list requires you to submit an application through those services. It'll help you a lot in the long run. And lastly, and this is a huge one, Start writing essays. That is my last and most important tip of all. Essays take a long time. Now, whether it is the Common App or Coalition App main essay, or whether it's the supplemental essays, most students spend a great deal amount of time trying to perfect their essays, and these take a long time. Sometimes they take up to 2 weeks to even a month to try and draft, edit, and re edit these essays so that you are perfectly and completely satisfied with your essays. So I strongly encourage you to start your essays early because before you know it, the deadlines will come, and you want to make sure that your essays are perfect so that you can submit those essays at those proposed deadlines. And that's it. These are the top 6 things that we at Achieve Ed think are the most important things to be thinking about when applying to college, especially as a current or rising senior in high school. Thank you for watching, everyone. Best of luck on your college application journey. Take care, and we will see you in the next one.